Hello everyone, I'm Don and welcome to my kitchen. If you're a regular viewer of this show, you'll notice maybe there's a little less Don here than the last time you saw me. That's right, Don went on a diet. So most of my adult life, I've managed to keep myself reasonably fit, and I'll put some pictures up what I was just a mere year and a half to 2 years ago. Before I started the show, I actually started gaining some weight, went through some personal things that I always fall back on food. I don't know, I'm an emotional eater. So then COVID hit. My main job, my real job, all of a sudden I was stationed at home, still am actually. And so my activity level dropped off dramatically and my cooking level perked up dramatically, and my baking. And if you've seen my previous shows, you know that I don't make healthy recipes. So I decided to go on a diet, and I was trying to think the best way to do it, so I decided to do one of these meal plans, and I did Nutrisystem for Men. Chose that one because actually the price point is not too bad compared to some of the others, although it's still expensive. And I just didn't really know how to cook all that healthy. I mean, chicken, yeah, okay, anybody can cook chicken, but I wanted some variety. So the plan I went on is the Nutrisystem Uniquely Yours plan for the 7-day. Okay, so their price points are a little weird the way they do it. So if you do a 1-month plan, and I had to write this down, so bear with me. If you do a monthly plan with an auto ship, it's $410 a month. If you do 1 month, it's $745, and that's with no commitment. And if you do 2 months, it's half off. So it's still $745. So me being a little thrifty, I decided to go with the 2-month plan because I'm paying for 2 months worth of food regardless. And with the 2-month plan, you're able to cancel after your second shipment. And I've done so. Now that Nutrisystem has these frozen foods, and I've watched a couple other reviews on YouTube that said the same thing that I'm telling you. The shelf-stable foods are no-no. And so they do offer frozen foods, and that's primarily what I ordered. Everything frozen, all my lunches, all my breakfast, lunches, and dinners were frozen, except for the snacks, and even some of the snacks are frozen. So when you're getting ready to pick your foods, they're going to give you a choice of chef picks, or they're going to give you pick. I would highly suggest that you pick. One, I chose not to use the chef picks because a lot of the food that they had picked, and they'll tell you what they're going to give you, I didn't like. I just knew I wouldn't like it. And they did try to include a lot of the shelf-stable products, which obviously I think it's part of their plan to try to give you products that cost them less. Let's face it, it's a big business and they're in it for the profit. One of the other things is that they offer you is this Numi app. Not a huge fan of the Numi app. I have used it. You would think that it would, because it's supposed to have all the Nutrisystem meals programmed into it, it would be very easy to search these out, and it's not. It's not at all. However, I did continue to use it. So let me tell you where I stand. Since 2 months now, okay, so this is 8 weeks that I've been on the plan, and I am now done with the Nutrisystem food, and I'm going to go solely to cooking my own, and that's what we're going to get into today. I've lost 32 pounds, and that's a lot. That's a lot. Now, everybody's different, obviously. I had a lot of weight to lose, and if you're only 30 pounds overweight, you're not going to lose that probably that quickly, you know, and I've still got to go about 20, 25 more pounds, and it's going to go slow from this point forward. The average weight loss is probably 2 pounds a week. Now, my very first week, they put you on a 1,000 calorie a day diet. I have to tell you that I was about ready to put a hole in the wall. I was getting such hanger that I needed some serious hanger management, if you know what I mean. I get real grumpy. I guess my insulin level drops or whatever, but I get really grumpy when I'm hungry. And the portions are so small that it was shocking. When you see the pictures, everything looks wonderful, and you got a nice plate full of food. Honestly, some of these meals that you buy from Nutrisystem, if you put them on a plate, you have to put them on a coffee saucer to make it look like the photo. And I actually did that just to see. So, but that being said, it works. Nutrisystem does work. If you stick to the plan and you eat only their foods and you don't cheat, and I did not cheat, you're going to drop the weight. And with my food, you're going to drop the weight, because a lot of the recipes I've come up with actually come out to be lower cal than the Nutrisystem plan, and actually bigger portions. So I was pretty excited about that because the portion sizes were just so tiny. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with breakfast, and we're going to start with breakfast sandwiches. And it's probably one of my favorite things that I did order from Nutrisystem. Is the sausage egg muffin. And what we're going to do is we're going to replicate that with everyday products, and we're going to put them side by side. The breakfast sandwiches are what they are. Everything's contained in with an English muffin, so you're not going to see a size difference, but there is a calorie difference, and it's some savings. Some of them are substantial savings in calorie. Not only calorie, fat content, protein, fiber, and carbs. Something that Nutrisystem doesn't go after so much is the low carb. Some of the recipes that I've developed have much lower carbs than the Nutrisystem. So I'll be right back. I'm going to get set up, and we're going to go ahead and move on with breakfast, Nutrisystem breakfast. All right, so I'm all set up. First of all, there's some of the equipment that you're going to need to do this. First of all, I'm going to show you how to make 3 different breakfast sandwiches, 2 of which Nutrisystem sells, although the one has been out of stock forever. I've not been able to buy it, so I just made my own version of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the Nutrisystem turkey sausage and egg muffin. It's 210 calories, very reminiscent of the fast food. My take on it, very bland. One thing about the Nutrisystem diet is very low sodium. I mean, salt is a big no-no. So I've come up with something on that too, obviously, because I cannot have some food that's just not seasoned properly. So this is the Nutrisystem sausage egg muffin, and it's a turkey sausage patty. It's egg whites. And if you read the ingredients, there's a lot that goes into that. It's xanthan gum and food coloring, obviously, because egg whites are not yellow. So you're not using the yolk at all. So our ingredient list is this. Thomas's 100-calorie multigrain muffins. Get this at Aldi. It's called Liquid Egg Product by Gold Hen. Now they make it with the color in it, so it's yellow and looks like scrambled eggs, and they make it without the color in it. You can also get it at Walmart. Not the same brand, same concept. All of it's going to tell you 3 tablespoons is a typical egg at 25 calories. So it's a very low calorie product. You're going to need an 8 or 10 inch skillet. I've got an 8-inch skillet here. For the sausage, you're going to use Butterball All Natural. This package has been opened, so I've made up a couple sausage patties in advance. And you are going to need a kitchen scale. So for the muffin sandwiches, we use 1.5 ounces of sausage. And the third sandwich that I'm going to make is not a Nutrisystem sandwich. I love a bagel, so I was able to find a low-cal bagel, and I used a 2-ounce sausage patty on that. And as we go through making these, I'll tell you exactly what the calorie content is, and if it is a Nutrisystem substitute, I'll tell you the differential in that. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to get this heated up beside your skillet. And these are not required, but I went out and I bought on Amazon 2 different sets of egg rings. This is a 3-inch and this is a 4-inch. And I got the 4-inch only because you need a bigger one for the bagel. That's why we also have a bigger sausage patty, because the bagel has much more area on it as far as that goes. So get this heated up. When we come back, I'm going to go ahead and put my egg ring in, because you want to preheat your egg ring too, and give it a little spray with some cooking spray. And I like the butter flavor because obviously we're making a breakfast, and when I'm making eggs I used to use butter all the time. So let me get this heated up and we'll go from there. Okay, so while this is just about heated up enough, I went ahead and took out my English muffins. And the first sandwich, like I mentioned, the turkey sausage and egg muffin. And the second one is something that's on the Nutrisystem website, but I haven't been able to order, which is turkey, Canadian bacon, egg and cheese. So basically an egg McMuffin. So we're going to make the 2 muffin sandwiches first, and we're going to do the bagel sandwich, and we're just going to move this along. So I'm going to toast mine. The Nutrisystem is not toasted. You could probably separate that while it's still frozen and go ahead and toast it if that's what you choose. I like mine toasted. So I'm going to go ahead and get that in the toaster and get that down. My pan feels pretty hot, and you're going to need yourself a tablespoon. And I'm going to give this a shake first of all. And we're only using 2 tablespoons of this. I find that it's more than enough. The serving on the carton, as I mentioned, is 3 tablespoons, but 2 is more than enough for these sandwiches. And I believe that what they have in the Nutrisystem is comparable, or this may be even a little bit more. I mentioned seasoning, something you don't get to do till after on Nutrisystem is the season. So I'm going to go ahead, and I like pepper. And the thing that's been lacking in all the Nutrisystem food is any taste or salt. So I found this is called the Original No Salt Sodium-Free Salt. If you put it in your hand and taste it, it doesn't taste like salt right off the bat, but on the food it actually works pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and lightly salt that as well with the no salt. You're going to want a lid that fits your pan as well. This pan didn't come with one, but I happen to find one in my pantry that does fit it. So all right, I'm going to remove my ring, and you may need a little help with it. All right, so now we're going to take my 1.5 ounce sausage patty, and I'm going to go ahead and place it on there, and it's already heated. I'm going to go ahead and just cover it for a minute, and that's going to be it for what the Nutrisystem sandwich is on a muffin. I like cheese, so I'm giving you an alternate. This is Kraft fat-free cheddar cheese, 10 grams. Go ahead and place that on top of my sausage patty, and then you want to take a little bit of water in your lid. You're going to add that water and put your lid on, and that's going to melt that cheese down. Now let's talk about the calories. Okay, so I mentioned the Nutrisystem is 210 calories. If you're just having the muffin, the sausage, and the egg on mine, it's 200 calories. Add 16 calories for the cheese. Mine is 216 calories. If you add 16 calories, obviously, to the Nutrisystem, you're going to go ahead and have 226 calories. So it's about 10 calorie saving, and maybe that's not significant. Cost-wise, I also did a cost comparison of this sandwich. For just the egg, sausage, and muffin, the Nutrisystem actually sells for $3.25 for retail. Since I got it 50% off, I paid $1.68. Everything that I have on mine, except for the cheese, was 88 cents. So that's the muffin, the egg, and the sausage. So I'm going to go ahead and place this directly on my muffin. Put it on, and there we go. So comparable in size, calories, a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next sandwich, which is going to be the one that Nutrisystem does not have available at this time, which is the turkey Canadian bacon, egg, and cheese. Now for the ham, or the Canadian bacon, turkey Canadian bacon, I bought Jenny O turkey ham. It's available at Walmart. It comes in a loaf. This is just a slice of it, but it's basically shaped like a little meat loaf. And then you're going to want to portion it out. For the sandwich, we used 19 grams of the ham, so I actually sliced it and I actually put it in the skillet and seared it a little bit because it just tastes better that way. It's fully cooked. You could take it potentially right off and put it right on. You're going to want to heat it up, of course. So this is a take on an egg McMuffin. So this is the egg, turkey ham, and cheese muffin. So the next one we're going to make is one that I came up with on my own, but you know, it's available out in the fast food restaurants as well. It's on a bagel. So the big challenge is finding a bagel that doesn't have a ton of calories. At Aldi, they sell this. It's called Bagel Skinnies. They're 110 calories a piece, and they are truly skinny. And I'm going to go ahead and get one out here. You can see that's where the calories went, because here's about a regular bagel is probably closer to 200 calories, and this is 110 calories. So I'm going to go ahead and toast that. And I actually have bagel setting on there, so just toast the inside of that. If you remember, we got a 2-ounce sausage patty. So this one we want to make it a little bit bigger to accommodate the bagel. So that we're going to go to our 4-inch ring. And this is made of silicone and it handles high heat. And this time we're going to use 3 tablespoons of the egg white mix here. All right, so you can obviously let that go longer to get the cheese more melted, but I'm kind of trying to make my way through this and not take up too much of your time. And we're going to go ahead and top it. You get a nice sandwich with that. I got to tell you that this is one of my favorites. So let's tell you where the calories stand on these guys. I'm going to go ahead and move that off of there. Turn my burner off for the time being. So the Nutrisystem, just sausage and egg, is 210 calories. I mentioned mine, sausage and egg, is 200 calories. Add cheese, 216 calories. The turkey bacon egg and cheese sandwich by Nutrisystem is 160 calories. And mine is 152 calories. The turkey sausage and egg bagel, Nutrisystem doesn't make one, so we can't compare to that. But if you're using just the egg, the bagel, and the sausage, it's 247 calories. And if you're going to go ahead and add the 10 grams of cheese, it's 263 calories. Still not bad for a full meal. And honestly, this is what I have for breakfast. Now, one great thing about all of these is they freeze very well. You can do these in advance, and I'm showing you recipes how to make one of them. But you can make big batches of these, and then obviously when you have this sausage, make up all your patties. And you know, if you're doing all muffins, all 1.5 ounce patties. And this is like ground meat, so you're just pressing them out into a patty and then you're putting them in a skillet and cooking them up. So if you're going to freeze them, you want everything to cool down. So you're going to let these just sit on your counter until they get cool. You're going to take your saran wrap, plastic wrap, and you're going to wrap them up individually and stick them in the freezer. I wrap them and then I put them in a freezer bag and I put them in the freezer. And then I follow the exact same instructions that come with the Nutrisystem version of that, and it works out perfectly in the microwave. So I don't make them individually. It seems very labor intensive, but it really, if you're making a big batch of these, you're going to use a bigger skillet. You might use 2 rings and get 2 rings going. By the way, this set does come with 2, and the other one as well. So you could ultimately make multiples of these, let them cool down, wrap them up, and then you're ready to go for your week. We're going to move on to the next breakfast, so let me get set up and I'll be right back. All right, so next up is the Nutrisystem turkey ham and cheese omelet. I went ahead and prepared this. You actually cook it right in this plastic envelope. You have to open up the end so it doesn't blow up on you. And for about 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes. So I'm just going to go ahead and slide it out on the plate to give you a look at that. And in the photos, it shows it basically overflowing the plate. These are little cake plates, not full-size dishes. If you put this on a coffee saucer, it tends to look more like the photo. So they're also garnished with some chives. So we'll go ahead and do the same to that. And we're going to move on to making my version of this. So we're going to use, once again, the same egg product, the egg whites. And this time we're going to use 6 tablespoons. Now I want to go ahead and season it. Some pepper. Some of this no salt. And also we've got some, I took 1 teaspoon of chopped up yellow onion, and we're going to just sprinkle that through. And that's optional. The Nutrisystem does have some onion in it, and that's why I wanted to include it. And I like the flavor of onion. It helps with the overall flavor. The egg whites definitely don't have the flavor with the egg with the yolk in it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull back and get this, the liquid fully cooked before we flip it. Also, for the ham, we're using, once again, the Jennie-O turkey ham, and I'm using the exact same quantity that I used on that muffin, which is 19 grams. My own. So, you get one side, you flip it. You want to go ahead and get your cheese. 10 grams, once again, of the Kraft fat-free cheddar. The Jennie-O turkey ham. And if you cut into the Nutrisystem, the ham is minced to, I would say, almost a puree. It's so fine, but that's just the way they do it. And so I'm going to go ahead and flip and close this. Now you might notice right off the bat, mine's a little bit bigger. I believe there's more egg, there's more content to mine, period. And I'm going to go ahead and serve it up on the plate. That cheese will melt inside. Turn that off. And we'll go ahead and hit it with a little bit of the chives. All right, so let's talk about calories with these. The Nutrisystem, 90 calories. Mine, 88 calories. Very comparable, but I'm sure you can notice that you're going to get more food for that 88 calories than you're getting for the 90 calories here. I've got one more breakfast for you, so let me get set up and we'll go ahead and move on. Okay, so next up is the Nutrisystem Homestyle Pancakes. Comes in a little envelope like this. You put them on a plate and you microwave them for 60 seconds in your microwave. And that is what you get, and that is also a small plate. So we're going to go ahead, and this is one that actually is using some cooking, a little more talent in cooking than just heating up store-bought products. I'm going to go ahead and get my skillet back on and go ahead and hit it with some butter spray. So we're going to take our flour first. We've got 17 grams of gold medal all-purpose flour, and I say gold medal all-purpose flour because it's slightly less in calorie than your average all-purpose. It's not going to make much difference. We're going to go ahead and mix in our other dry ingredients. We got 1.5 teaspoons of sucralose, otherwise Splenda. I get the Aldi brand of the sucralose. It's a lot less expensive than the regular Splenda. So I'm going to add that to my flour. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And we're going to go ahead and give that just a mix with a whisk. So in another bowl, I'm taking, and we're going to go ahead and 1 large egg, 3/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and this is 20 grams of non-fat yogurt. I also bought it at Aldi. And we're going to go ahead and whisk this together and get that egg scrambled up. Make sure my skillet's not getting too hot so I don't burn these guys. And we want to go ahead and add in our dry ingredients. And you want to give it a good whisk until you end up with a nice batter. I played around with this a bit to get it, but I tell you what, it really makes a nice pancake. You're going to see the size difference in portions, and I'll give you the calorie content as well at the end. So you want to make sure you get all the lumps out of that and just kind of mix it. So you get a nice creamy consistency. We're going to use a tablespoon. I'm going to go ahead and start adding it. It's 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring it out with until you get to about a 6-inch size pancake. Make sure you get all the batter out of there. So what you're going to see is that baking powder working, and it's going to start bubbling, and you're going to start to see bubbles across the top. So we almost let that cook a good deal through before we try to flip it. Otherwise, we're just going to spill the batter everywhere. So I let those bubbles develop, and it depends on how hot your pan is. So when we're ready to flip, we'll flip this guy, and we'll get the next one on, and we'll take a look at them. And you're going to put your remaining batter, which is about 3 tablespoons. Okay, so here's the outcome. These are two 6-inch pancakes versus two 4-inch pancakes. You can see that we're probably equal in thickness. I think mine may be just a little bit thicker. Now, what do you use on it? You don't want to use real butter, obviously, if you're sticking to the diet. So this is kind of a little hack. Most of you might already use this on your corn on the cob. But this parquet spray is 0 calories and 0 everything, essentially. So what I actually do, we'll take it and I will pour it on. Just drizzle it. And then I was looking for a good alternative for pancake syrup, and this is a really good one. This is Walden Farms. I actually got it on Amazon. I'll leave a link to that as well. But it's 0 fat, 0 calories, 0 carbs, gluten-free, and sugar-free. So we'll go ahead and doctor this up a little bit. You can use as much as this you want. All right, so that's it for Nutrisystem breakfast. We'll be back to do Nutrisystem lunch.